Hi folks, I wanted to do a video today on wax manipulation. So this is kind of something that at least I think I've developed it. I've never heard of anyone else talk about it before. So, and what it is it's like a combination of sympathetic magic or the sympathetic work that you would do on a doll baby or a poppet, as in you treat the doll baby or the poppet the way you would treat someone to achieve that goal. So if it's for a negative effect and you're trying to maybe do some retribution work to this doll baby or this puppet, you would not want to treat this doll baby or puppet very well. So that means you would leave it by itself. Some people use, maybe coffin nails or pins to stick in it to sort of drive the goal of you want this person to receive retribution or feel badly for something that they've done so that they change their mind and there's a new outcome. And then in the opposite, you have doll babies that are for healing and love workings, things like that. And you would treat these very well. You would make sure that they are comfortable. You would make sure that they have all of the little things that they need. I did a video on how to take care of a doll baby and how to work with it. And a lot of that comes from just sort of creating a little atmosphere for it, a little box for it, putting small items in there, miniature items that you would buy in like the dollhouse section of a craft store in there. So to give it all the things it needs. It's a lot like what the Egyptians did when you bury somebody, and they would bury them with everything that they needed. So they would put them in there with money and food and, all of their favorite things to make them comfortable. So that's what you would do with your doll baby. You would put in tiny representations of either of which way you want the goal to manifest. So this is a little bit of a takeoff on that in a combination with your candle work. So I'm going to use a couple of examples. I have two here. So this is a like a lover return candle. I sell these on my site. This is a separation candle. I also sell these on my site. So when you're burning your candle, you start to typically we will get a wax flow that is clockwise. If we were working for a reversal working, let's say, and you noticed that you were getting clockwise candle flow, what I do to aid in the success of my workings for my clients is I manipulate that wax flow. So I would use something, I usually use maybe like an old pencil or maybe some herbs or a piece of paper or maybe a strip of cardboard, and I would block that off so to where it pooled up and it was forced to go the opposite direction, which lends the reversal energy to my work. So just as you would manipulate the doll baby, you can manipulate a candle. It can be a figural candle like these, or a single figural candle, the man or the woman that you see sold. I also have those on my site. Or it can just be a plain candle. Now the figure candles and the shaped candles are going to have a lot more wax flow to manipulate. So that's why I think it's best to go with these if you're going to try this practice. A regular like taper candle, you're not going to have a lot of wax flow off of it to try to manipulate. It can also, when you manipulate the wax, you can obviously let it go and read the wax flow itself. I've been posting some wax flow interpretations on my Facebook page, which is under Conjured Cardia. You can type that in and find it. I also have a link to my Facebook page on my site. So I've been doing wax flow interpretations there. And so this is going to, if you believe that the ultimate pattern that you have is what's there to interpret, then if you believe that that's ultimately going to end up however it's going to end up, and that's what's there for you to interpret, then this isn't going to interfere with anything, because you believe that the end result is what you're supposed to be reading and what you're supposed to be looking at. So by manipulating it, it is going to interfere with what you would naturally get at the end in a natural pattern, natural wax flow. Sometimes I choose to do this, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on how my candle is burning. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I have learned which circumstances are better to try to manipulate the wax flow, and which ones are better to just ride it out and let's see what happens in the end. So when you get to candles like this, if you are doing some sort of return spell for a spouse or a friend or whatever, what we would want is we would want the wax flow from the person that we are trying to get to come back. We would want that to go towards the person, the client. Okay, so say this guy is my client and he wants her to come back. So what we're going to do is when the wax flow starts coming down and it starts accumulating on your plate, you're going to take your tools, your little strips of cardboard or your pencil or whatever, and you're going to try to manipulate the wax that is pooling on the wax to come on the plate to come over to his side. So you want her energy, you want to manipulate this figure to coming over, excuse me. You're going to want to manipulate this figure's wax to come over to this side. Vice versa, you want, say this girl, she wants this guy to leave her alone. You want his wax to go away from her. So you're going to set up some little boundaries somehow with either papers or maybe some bundles of herbs. Sometimes I like to do little bundles of sage for separation working because it's kind of like purifying that person out of this person's life. So you want their wax flow away from this person. You don't want it going on their side. So by doing that, you're separating these energies. So if we believe that we can imbue a doll baby or a puppet with our energies, excuse me, I'm going to turn my phone down. I should have done that prior to this. If we believe that we can manipulate a wax figural candle, a wax doll baby, a cloth doll baby, whatever, if we believe that we can manipulate these, and that this is housing a person's sort of spirit, and we're manifesting the goals that we want by using these candles and these items and these poppets and doll babies, then there's no reason that what we do to a poppet we can't also do to a candle. So that's my theory here. It has worked very well for me for 15 years. I've gotten pretty intuitive about it to where I can see, after 15 years of reading candles, I've read a lot of candles. So you can sort of start to feel out and see what makes sense. Like I was talking about with the reversing candle. You want the wax flow to go the opposite of what it normally would. If you see it's naturally going clockwise, you want to stop it and you want to make it go counterclockwise. You're going to have to wait for it to build up and pool, for it to overflow on itself and start backing up and going around. But my point is that these different principles that we use of manifestation and of working with symbolic objects for sympathetic magic, then it's not necessary to just believe or think that we can just do it with one thing. Oh, it has to be a doll if we're going to manipulate it this way. I think that you can do this, you can apply that same theory and that same magical practice to any type of candle, to any type of work. There are other more complicated readings to get into with wax. Like I posted a wax flow on my Facebook page that typically indicates illness. So this would be something for somebody who's a little more experienced, but it typically makes a globular pattern. I would say a globular collection on the back of the candle. So you'll have this stream of wax coming down and it'll start making this big sort of bump, almost like a weird tumor, like it's completely three-dimensional and like it would almost detach and fall off. So if I'm working on a healing working for a person, I want to remove that, okay? Now, if this is a relationship candle that this is happening on, this is showing me that there's something going on there that needs to be addressed. So I don't remove it. I address the client about it and I talk to them about what happened with the candle, how I interpreted it, and that I think that it's something, it would be something from the other person's side that well, it would be something for whichever person it collected on. So whether it's this person or this person, if it collected on this person over here, I would typically say if it's his wax flow doing it, like if she's burned down and his wax flow has caused the collection on her, I would say this guy's got something going on that he needs to address before they can get back together, and vice versa. So now if they're remaining completely separate, his is burning down, hers is burning down, and she's got a collection on her, there's something here she needs to address before the relationship can progress or before they can reconcile. So you know, you have to use what the divine has given you. You have to use your intuition. You have to use that gut feeling. You have to use all of the symbolism in nature that the divine has sent you to read and discern things about your life. We typically have gotten away from this as human beings, and we don't rely on folk magic and old wives' tales and things like that. But there are grains of truth in these things, and you know, we've gotten so where, you know, if we want an answer for something, we just Google it. But the thing is that there's so many facets to an answer, and there's so many facets to situations in life that we need to learn to sort of get back into trusting our intuition and reading all these natural symbols around us in the tools that we have as people who practice folk magic. So I hope that that was interesting for you and maybe something that you haven't tried before, and now it's something that you can try. If you have any questions about any wax flow interpretations that you're getting from a working that you're doing, you can send the photos to me, to my email, which is conjuredcardia@gmail.com, or you can message them to me on my business page on Facebook, which is also Conjured Cardia. I do need photos of the entire process, not just photos from the resulting end, because I read the wax flow from the beginning of the working to the very end. I read the flames. So I don't just, if you send me one picture of the end of it, I'm not going to be able to help you very much at all, because I need to see the entire process. I will try to get to the photos that are sent to me. I may not be able to get to every one of them, but I will certainly try. If you have any ideas for videos, please comment below or message me on my Facebook or shoot me an email. There'll be a link to my site at the beginning, and probably during the entirety of this video, I'll put a link so you can see it the whole time. And feel free to stop by and get a free consultation. I do offer those. And I hope you all have a very blessed week. And thank you for watching. Bye.